That's crazy. Even the AI know what's up.
Oh no, that's a UFO. That's a UFO.
More people. I think they're in the convention center.
They are running out. Look at them. Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna freak out because Maryla's not with me.
Oh my gosh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh my gosh.
This is the control of the experiment. This is before the software update. It is destroying everything. Just like that, the Cybertruck is updated and it should not be crushing any bananas. I'm so impressed. Everybody's been waiting for this, the finger. Without further ado,
Are you driving that fast? Oh my goodness.
لا 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 ايه يما ايه يما لا 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 مالك ايه ده لا yeah. We got another one. We got a cowboy's girlfriend there.
Everyone always says, go to the Goodwill bins. You'll get so much good stuff for cheap. What they don't tell you is you could get hand, foot, and mouth disease, like I did 2 weeks ago from digging around in the bins for 4 hours. I didn't even know adults could get that.
Oh, you absolutely can. This disease is caused by Coxsackie virus, which causes blistering in the hands, feet, and mouth. And the Coxsackie virus is incredibly contagious. There is no treatment. You just have to let it resolve on its own.
Oh my goodness. I guess I got lucky when I went to those Goodwill bins when I used to buy books, old books and old VHSs. That's crazy. But anything else that I don't buy shoes from the thrift store. And anything else, it gets steamed, cleaned, and everything else. Because you really don't know what they're doing in those places.
Convince me that the platypus is not a science experiment. It's like a duck, beaver, otter hybrid. It's also a mammal that lays eggs. It's also venomous, which is weird for a mammal. And its venom is found in its back legs. It just kicks you to envenomate you. It also doesn't have teeth, so it uses rocks to chew up its food. And I don't know where its food goes, because it also doesn't have a stomach. It also doesn't have nipples, but it gives off milk, just kind of leaks out of its armpits. It's also an aquatic creature that doesn't have senses in water. It goes blind and deaf when it jumps in water. But that's cool, because it can connect to the electromagnetic field. It can sense electrical pulses in other creatures' bodies. What?
Do I go here, or do I listen to the map? What do I do here? Thank you for the warm welcome. I don't know if I'm supposed to stand there or there. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Couldn't find the part 2, but that's why you never put your spare key under the mat. I don't know if anybody's still doing that, but that video should convince you not to do that.
times NASA said that the Earth was flat and non-rotating. The very first requirement for landing an aircraft is that the Earth is flat and non-rotating. This one's in the general equations of motion for a damaged asymmetric aircraft, rigid body equations of motion over a flat, non-rotating Earth. These are all on the NASA website, by the way. You don't have to search hard. There's tons of documents. I just grabbed 4 of them. Another one about aircrafts. It says this simulation assumes a vehicle with 6 degrees of freedom and aerodynamic symmetry in roll, and the missile position in space is computed relative to a flat, non-rotating Earth. This one's on how helicopters work. The helicopter equations of motion are given in body axes with respect to a flat, non-rotating Earth. If you still believe that we live on a globe, I don't even know what to tell you. TikTok, this is for entertainment only.
I thought we don't listen to anything NASA say. Now they listening to them. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty strange though that it does say that. So. Like something from Fallout. It's crazy. Really make you wonder how people just abandon things and then never come back and get the items. To really make you wonder what happened to them.
Hi, sweetie. We're not doing okay. Someone just said that Kayla was dead this morning. Surprise, surprise.
She said that she used to knock the baby out so she can go party. And she would put her to sleep, and then when she'll come back, the baby would still be asleep, and the next day she's awake. So that's how that came up.
So did she, I mean, she just happened to tell you that in the course of, because she didn't want her parents to,
Yeah.
well, if she didn't want her parents to babysit, this is the part I don't understand, and maybe you don't know either, but if she, where did she do this? Where was Kaylee when she was knocked out? In other words,
That's the same thing they asked me, and I told them that I guess they were in the house because they lived together at their parents' house. So I really don't know. I guess they were at the house.
okay. Did she say what she used to knock her out?
I can't pronounce it. I can't pronounce it that well. Foam. I can't pronounce it. It's I don't know much about it, but I know it's some type of chemical. It's chloroform. I can't pronounce
She
it.
said that?
Yeah.
What did she say? Tell me more about that.
I know that how she did it was she would pour it on like a rag, like a wash rag, and put it over the baby's face. So she'll inhale it, and that will knock her out.
Do you know where she got it?
No. After that point, I was kind of
She
okay.
told you that?
Yes,
She told you she would pour it on a wash rag and put it over her face.
to knock her out.
We're sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened.
Yeah, there's no rebranding. No one's going to forget what you did. It doesn't matter how many decades it was ago. I remember when I was like the end of high school, maybe early college when that happened. Everybody in the United States hated her guts because we all know what she did. Her daughter, I don't care what anybody tried to tell me. I don't care that it said not guilty. I don't care about none of that. What we do know is she a liar, and we know she only got away with it because they waited a whole month before they even said anything to the cops about it. She got caught multiple times lying. So I don't know why she trying to come back and be a legal representative of anything, and then want to say something about her daughter. I just think that's crazy. She just want attention personally. I ain't forget about her, but I'm surprised she's still around. I thought somebody would have got to her by now, or she would have left the country. Because I mean, the internet hated her guts. I can't express to you if you wasn't there during that time how much the internet hated her. But I just think that's just ballsy. She trying to come back on the social media after all these years and want to say something about some helping other people. I don't believe that for a second. And oh yeah, her parents are just as bad as her. I mean, what grandparent would be like, yeah, I haven't seen my grandchild, and then don't say anything about it, and then a month later, well, I still haven't seen her. You said she's with the babysitter. I could tell you the exact detail about everything about it, but it would make this video so long. Regardless, rest in peace to her daughter. So we'll never forget.
NASA accidentally captured a UFO as they were live streaming from the ISS for all the world to see. Now this has to be the first UFO that we've seen in outer space. This video has just come out, and I don't even think NASA noticed it when it was happening. But people that were watching the stream captured this video of a UFO. So we had to zoom in to be able to see it, but as you can see, there's this little dot that's moving across the screen. Now people will tell you it's probably just a satellite, but just watch the way that it moves. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So this is just a few seconds later, and as you can see, the UFO is going to start moving up and then over. And I don't think a satellite would necessarily do that. Here's a sped up version so that you can see its path and how it moves, because it's definitely not natural movement. And here's a zoomed in shot of what we're looking at. This is what we were just seeing move across the screen. Brother, that is not a satellite. So could this possibly be our first actual, for real UFO sighting? Let me know in the comments what you guys think.
Have you seen the gnome sightings in Utah? This creator shared a story about her husband and her 13-year-old son seeing a gnome-like creature in their backyard in Utah. Her husband said he saw it climbing a neighbor's wall, while her son said that it was in the garden. So she decided to research ways to lure it out by giving it small pennies or a basketball. And sure enough, after a few days, she saw the pennies with a crystal now stacked on top of each other. This is her pointing out where they had seen the gnomes previously. They had also been spotted in this area, which is considered the garden. Now here's where things take a bit of a turn. The commenters were all like, girl, those aren't gnomes, those are duendes. Duendes are popular in Latin and Spanish folklore. They're like elves or like garden creatures, and they're really mischievous. And some of them have like good protective traits, but others are actually really harmful. But it's very important with duendes that you don't give them anything. Because if you do, it's like welcoming them into your home, and if it's a bad duende, you don't want it there. I would compare it to like inviting a ghost in your home. You don't know what kind of spirit it's gonna come through. Come over here for longer freaky videos.
Could you imagine seeing something like that crawling on you, crawling on your property? There'd be no way I would give that no pennies, no nothing. Like she said, you just inviting it in. I wish I had a camera to record all of it, because I don't believe it.
Telling y'all, stop playing with these paranormal beings. You're gonna find yourself in a mental hospital, or even something worse, you're gonna find yourself in the afterlife. So the lady in Utah whose family seen the duende in the yard did an update. And in this update, she says she did research on what a duende is. It's not a gnome. She understands that it is an evil being. But what does she do? She continues to entice this being. That is the wrong thing to do. Now, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, let me run the story back real fast. A family, mother, father, and son moved from Vegas to Utah. In Utah, they cooking out in their backyard, and the son and the father see a gnome running around. A gnome, a small person, but it's really not a gnome. It's a duende. Tell the mom/wife she can't see it because she's not spiritually in tune, but she wants to see it. What does she do? She sets out offerings for it. Pennies, she set out a basketball, go out for the day, and when they come back, the pennies and the basketball that she set up was in a different order. The pennies were stacked on top of each other and the basketball was gone. And I know a lot of you probably saying that that's not real, but y'all better pay attention. Now on to the update. So what happens now? She puts cameras in her yard and she puts out more offerings. After she reads up and finds out that this thing allegedly is an evil paranormal being. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you go look it up. Go look up duende and see exactly what you see. She also found out that people in Utah, in her neighborhood, in her area, have seen duendes. Knowing what this thing can do, knowing how possessive this thing is, knowing how powerful this thing is, she still wants to entice this thing. She laid out elves. She even laid out an elf house for this thing to continuously come back to her. After she got information on this thing, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, but I'm not gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna do another video about a story about a duende that allegedly took someone's, let's just say their family found out that being involved with a duende is not a good thing. I'm out.
My freezer for 30 seconds.
Could be that wedding cake top, or there could even be money.
I pulled it out and I set it directly right here. I grabbed this knife exactly right here. Hair and everything. It was mama.
Tucked away for years.
Finding diagnosed with small cell lung cancer.
Smith recently moved.
We got some footage coming out of California of a strange orb-like plasmoidal thing floating through the sky. And notice in the background here, everyone is just standing in the street staring up at this thing stump. And if you can listen to the background as well, you can just hear everyone kind of perplexed about the whole situation, right? As this bright light tends to dim down, it's moving across the sky and then it begins and then it stops. So it's not going up, it's going sideways like this, okay? Not vertical, horizontal, that's the word I was looking for, right? And then it turns into this plasmoidal orb. And we've seen something similar to this that was in China. If I can find the video right here, okay? This is the same exact object that was seen. No noise associated with it. And it's just carrying on and floating by, right? Unbelievable. And look, as it's there, it's just kind of slowed down. Now it's kind of stopped. It's moving very slowly. Again, when it comes to these sightings, this isn't the first time we've seen something of this nature, okay? I mean, the people are probably going to be like, it's a flare, it's nothing else, but there's no sort of like flare. A, that doesn't make any noise. B, it's not going vertically, it's travelling horizontally through the sky. It's actively moving through the clouds. It's going like that, and then it slows down, and then carries on, right? Look at it. That is insane. Orb? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I thought this was hella interesting. California, come on, man.
You know what it looked like? It looked like it looked like the sun got like, and then decided just wanted to leave. Like, hey man, maybe they on to something with that Different theories about the sun not being real.
You ever heard of the girl who walked backwards? Her name was Ella Harper and she was known as the Camel Girl. This was back when freak shows were a very popular thing. A freak show is an exhibition of biological rarities. People would have features that would be physically unusual to humans. There was the bearded lady, there was a lion-faced man, there were people with tattoos all over them, and people liked to go to these shows because they were so shocking. And honestly, when you look back on it, it's extremely messed up because people would just go there and make fun of these poor people. Ella Harper was born with a condition known now as genu recurvatum. This condition allows one's knees to hyperextend and actually bend in the opposite direction. And because of that, it was most comfortable for Ella to walk on all fours. And although this condition affected her physical state, her mental capacities were totally normal. And she eventually made all this money and left the circus to go to school. Just looking into all these people who are put on display, it's incredibly sad. Because honestly, I think weird is beautiful, and I would rather be unique than to look like everybody else.
So in California now, you can't use your firearm unless you're fighting for your life in your house. Politics aside, you blue states, your laws be so weird. Basically, in this new bill in California, they're stating that when someone breaks into your crib, you cannot whip out that fire on them. You have to try to escape your house first and escape them. And if you're unsuccessful, then you may defend yourself. So if you got a family in the house, you have to find a way to notify your family there's dudes in the crib, get them out safely, and then when all else fails, they probably done got one of your families to meet the Lord and Savior, is when you finally get to use it. Only thing worse than this is New York. In New York, I think you can't even use self-defense as an excuse. Yeah, that rapper K-Flock did self-defense. Dudes ran up on him with pipe, and he's facing jail time for that. There's no self-defense. I can't lie, I proudly say I'm so happy I live in Florida, bro. Because you wild if you believe I'm just allowing somebody to break in my home and put me and my family life in danger, and then I gotta play cat and mouse with him around the crib before I can defend myself.
Yeah, that's pretty well. I don't know how you're supposed to escape if you don't know where the person breaking into your house at. That's just crazy. You should be able to defend yourself. Obviously, there's limits to it, but I feel like if they in your house, there should be no limits. If the person broke into your house, or even if you in your house and they don't live there and they try and start some stuff. That's just what I think personally.
Here are some creepy facts. Did you know after you die, your sense of hearing is last to go? How crazy. Imagine hearing what the person's saying next to you when you die. Well, I mean, if you die around anyone. Also, men who are hanged got a death erection. I mean, awkward. Also, more than 7,000 people die annually because of a doctor's bad handwriting. Yes, I used to work for a few doctors that I could never understand what the hell they were writing. I mean, look at these examples. A paramedic once said, after 15 years of being a paramedic, these are words that he heard from people who actually died and what they said before they died. I don't feel so good. Wait, something's wrong. Something's happening. I don't feel right. Oh no, oh no. I guess because you could feel the blood leaving your brain, so you know you're about to die. And honestly, that's so creepy, because I say that a lot.
This might look like a normal photo, but it's actually one of the most chilling ghost photos I've ever seen. In 1942, this photo was taken at this couple's wedding with a box camera. The couple is smiling, but somebody else in the picture is not very happy about this day. If you pay close attention to the tree on the right, you'll notice something disturbing. An image of an angered woman in the trees is shown reaching out at the couple. Now, this actual photo was passed down through the generations, so there's no way that it could have been photoshopped. When you zoom in again, the image is even more terrifying.